did not feel too hot going into this, but it's working out, Jenkins. It's the mindset also for Saberlight to not care about anything but winning.
I do respect that a lot, actually, because you know, I feel like if you're going to like your first TI or something as like a brand new player, millions of dollars on the line, fame, like you aren't thinking about all that stuff. It does add pressure, but it's like Shopify has gone through the ringer so many times at this point. They've gotten good records, they've gotten bad records, been knocked out. It's like they've experienced every emotion, so it's almost like he can look at the game objectively now, which I think is what all the best teams do in the first place.
We got a first pick Radiant. Doesn't happen very often anymore, but we do get it right now. And that is because Shopify had selection priority and chose second pick.
Oh, this is pretty immediate. There's one thing I see from this draft is that Doom is still left in the pool. Every single time Shopify plays, they ban this hero most of the time. Might be ban him in every single game because they love to pick heroes that do have a lot of healing. Every single time there's a hero with a certain amount of healing on their side and still in the pool, but Bet Boom, they will pick up Invoker in the first phase and immediate response with this Kunkka, good laner against the Invoker. At the start of the year, throughout the year, pretty much, I did not like Kunkka at all. I think this was Garbanzo pick, but in this meta, with other heroes also being nerfed, I feel like the rise of Kunkka is there for a good reason, because you can, like, you're a Blade Mail carrier. I know Jenkins loves Blade Mail. And also, you build into all these tanky items. You get Shard later on. You pick up Aghanim Scepter. Make fights much more chaotic in the mid and late game.
The new Ags is so strong. The fact that you can target it now is so much better than it was before. You can hit people super duper far away from you.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's the flex potential of Kunkka. Because I think this is Shopify's second Kunkka, but the last time they played it, was it yesterday or the day before? Not sure, but they played it from the offlane on Saberlight. So
nice.
When you confidently can win with a hero that you can flex the 2 core positions, it makes your drafting so much easier. And I feel like Shopify have found that with their Kunkka. Like, they're going for some interesting Blade Mail into Crimson Guard from the offlane, just making him be a tanky catch type of hero.
Yeah,
I like that conceptually a lot versus Invoker. I think
that actually makes a lot of sense. Like maybe when Kunkka was going for this Daedalus Shadowblade,
it never worked out.
But that also like was not a build that you could really do from the offlane. But other offlaners are going for Blade Mail Crimson Guard right now, and that would be the mid Kunkka build as well. So yeah, you're totally right. It makes sense as a offlane flex.
Dire's turn.
They on the side of Bet Boom, they took an incredibly long time to think about, in particular, the Warlock ban.
I think they just were thinking about if there was a chance that they could take it for themselves. But Shopify go for the AA instead, which leaves the Vengeful Spirit. But a lot of teams do like to combo with Invoker, because that way they can Alacrity a carry, but also use Vengeful Spirit's damage amp through her aura and her wave.
I thought AA was kind of only good against Gyro.
Shopify disagrees.
I think it's good having always this healing stop at every single stage of the game. You have the setup for it as well. You have X Mark, which is a pretty cheap one. They also banned out Centaur, which is a hero that Pure did play yesterday against EG, and he finished the game with 10,000 HP. Literally 10,000. Diving the fountain with his build, with the shard. But they're going to respect ban it, even though they have X Mark to spot, which is a big counter to Stampede. They're still going to pick it up. And on side of Bet Boom, 2 supports, mostly looking at Shadow Demon. This has been pretty much the hero of the tournament because you can stack so much. He's anti-carry, and also having break mechanic later on can buy a little bit more time for Ancient Apparition, Kunkka's combo. So he's going to try to like break the game. What I see from Bet Boom is they're going to try to split up these combos that Shopify relies on hitting, because if you don't have the boat, if you don't have the ravage, you save people, terrorize them away from a team fight, Bet Boom can easily reset.
It's been quite interesting for me to see how some of the high tier supports have already kind of shifted to make way for others, like the Shadow Demon and the Willow, because typically you would not expect the Vengeful Spirit to get ignored throughout this tournament, but It seems like Willow has just made a very good impression on a lot of these teams recently. It seems like just her ability to chain CC with her Brambles, what her Shard gives, and of course the damage through Bedlam can always be useful. But I do like what Shopify did with the AA plus Tidehunter. I think when you have these two heroes together, it makes it so that taking team fights is very simple. The Ravage into the Ice Blast will work whenever these spells are off cooldown.
And this is something that another Eastern European team yesterday, Team Spirit, they ran the same combo, Dark Willow plus Legion Commander. Ever since the change to Bedlam, that you can now throw it onto your allies, it feels much better, so you're never going to lack damage. And also, it was the same matchup. They played against Tidehunter, so you will have the lockdown, another Blade Mail carrier as well. Just lock down this Tidehunter from 100 to 0, because you definitely have enough damage. Sunstrike, Bedlam, as I already mentioned. And there's no save on Shopify other than Boat, which could not come in on time.
I will say though that I think a lot of people overestimate Willow's damage output early on, because when you're playing against natural pipe fires like Tidehunter and Darkseer, and Willow's a support who sometimes just doesn't get enough levels, you could often be playing with a level 1 Bedlam at minute 20 versus a pipe, and it doesn't really do that much. So it can go both ways a little bit. I think this Legion Commander was just picked to duel the Tidehunter.
Yes.
Because when you're playing into a Tidehunter, you can't really disable him. You just Kraken shells that, and you have to deal with this Watermelon's teamfight ability. So typically the counters are something like a Void that can chrono him, an LC that can duel him, anything that constantly debuffs our Disruptor, Static Storm. And I think LC is the one that makes the most sense here, because LC can also just probably lane into any hero in Dota right now.
Pretty much.
Except Monkey King.
You know what I'm thinking? It's a good game for Ursa, and Yatoro yesterday
he did say
he talked about there's some, secret build on Ursa. I don't know if he meant like Crystalis, who plays for Team Secret, that he builds an Ursa or something, or that
you build a crystal, you build Crystalis on Ursa.
First item Crystalis like Gyro does on Ursa. They're gonna remove some of these like super late game heroes. I think there's potential to pick up Monkey King, but then again, you're playing into Ancient Apparition. I know some of the teams would not care too much about it, because you have like free lane. I think there's also it's a good Razor game. Nightfall didn't play it yet. Nightfall mostly plays these like super late game carries.
I think ideally you'd want to take advantage of your team's ability to amp you up as a carry here, so something that can hit the buildings for a Vet Boom with the Alacrity and the LC press the attack. So most melee carries that do that comfortably have been taken out from the pool, like the Naga, the Terrorblade who can meta, and
could be
PA on the side of Vet Boom.
Also Medusa, another hero that doesn't care about Ancient Apparition ulti. Later on you build into Silver Edge. You can also break Tide, even though you have Legion Commander. I think like damage output on Shopify Rebellion is really limited. Like Kunkka uses his thing. If there's a save from Disruption, Hoodwink Sharpshooter, Tidehunter is pretty limited. This last pick, Arteezy needs to deal a lot of damage, I feel like.
Or for like, I like the Medusa idea, but also Luna, right? Because you'd want some kind of ranged carry to siege buildings for you if you could. It's good versus Tidehunter online, and it pairs well with the Shadow Demon.
Shopify has the response pick, though, is the thing. Like, if they Medusa, there's still the AM. You're playing into Legion plus SD, so it's not that good. There's still Slark. Like, I do worry if Vet Boom doesn't pick something that's like a fairly generic good carry.
That's why I mentioned Medusa, because you already have LC, and the LC is one of the better counters against AM. Like, you don't care about his counter spell, because its duel's always going to go off.
Turn to pick.
Juggernaut, the first Juggernaut of DreamLeague, ladies and gentlemen. That is a generic carry.
Yeah, it is.
But is it a generic good carry?
It beats Tide in lane. There's a whole ton of magic damage and stuff that he can dodge and disjoint with his spin. So I think it's actually a pretty good pick. I mean, obviously you have the AA blast versus the healing ward, but you have to actually hit the jug, and even then he's got so many ways of just not taking the damage from the AA blast.
And on paper, it's a great jug game, because the Hoodwink AA supports are just going to die to the Swift Slash from Juggernaut,
that's
right?
a feed.
And then you have the Blade Fury to play into the Tidehunter if you're worried about a Ravage. And the only annoying interaction for the Juggernaut is with debuff immunity changing, you can actually X him back from a spin TP.
True, yeah.
In most cases, but I don't necessarily think that'll matter too much in the big picture. Like, it looks like a very solid hero.
The Razor still looks good for Shopify if they want to go that route. Very good against Legion and lane, good against Jug in the game. They actually go with the Ursa. Oh my god.
There it is.
Okay, Lacoste.
It's a good, like, lane partner with Ancient Apparition, I would say. Just good overall matchup against Juggernaut. You don't care too much later on if we're talking about like the mid game. There are no silences on Bet Boom. So I feel like this Ursa might be able to like get stuff done. It also takes early Roshan. Both of these teams were heavily focused so far in the tournament at playing the early game. Like first 10 minutes, both of the teams were very impressive. I'm gonna give a lot of advantage in this one for Bet Boom. I feel like even though Juggernaut is just, you know, a Juggernaut, that's how I feel about the hero for a long time. The other four, I really like what they picked for themselves.
I think Shopify's draft has a lot of merit, and especially with Abed on the Kunkka, he's going to stabilize the game and hopefully be able to like play with this Ice Blast early on. But as far as Bet Boom's draft go, I feel like it ticks every box. They have a setup for Invoker spells from Toronto Tokyo. They have one of Pure's best heroes in the LC, and I think the Juggernaut just kind of exists, but he's going to do his job later on. The other 4 heroes on Bet Boom team have so much counterplay to Shopify's draft. They have the save versus the Ravage. They have the ability to control the Ursa with the Willow, and they have a hero in Invoker who's going to lane well against Kunkka.
I actually think Legion beats Ursa in lane now, by the way. I think with like the move speed buffs, and now you have to go for the Cornucopia rather than the Ring of Health if you want to go for Battle Fury on Ursa. I don't think Legion loses lane to Ursa. I think it's actually the opposite. It's like 55-45, but it used to be much worse for the Legion.
We're gonna have to see how this one plays itself out. It's a best of 3. It's our first best of 3 here at DreamLeague, so there will be a victor one way or the other. But who is gonna get a head start in this series? We're finding out with Odie Pixel and Fong.
Yes, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for some upper bracket action here in season 21. And what a way to start things off. Some Bet Boom against Shopify Rebellion. And honestly, first glance at this draft, we're just seeing some good old classic carries here. We're getting a Nightfall Juggernaut and an Arteezy Ursa fogged.
Definitely some fun potential for some crazy type of plays. We don't get to see the Jug versus Ursa. When the hell was the last time we got to see these two play versus each other? So we're in for a treat. We're in for a couple different fun interactions and stuff too. We've got a Kunkka, Abed playing this one, been rising in popularity more and more in this tournament. This hero just seems real good right now. Blade Mail build, naturally incredible, and then being able to get that Torrent Storm online can be super strong. And he's playing versus Invoker. This used to be a traditional counter pick versus Invoker. Let's see if it fares the same versus the Universal Invoker.
I think so. The overall story of this series really is going to be if, you know, can Shopify Rebellion this time, this tournament, take that magic that we see so many times from them in the group stage through to the playoffs? It's going to be a tough series to do it in, right, folks? Because Bet Boom, these online tournaments, they look good throughout it all.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, I bet their off lane for me has just been incredible. Pure and Save, I think we've always been talking about Save, his 4 position. He is just an absolute beast. But then looking on the flip side, Shopify's been doing kind of similar throughout this group stage. We've been seeing Crit back to his usual self, playing his Tusks, all his comfortable heroes, and Saberlight and him definitely have a powerful lane that we used to see combo together. The Hoodwink Tide. This was the Tundra Classic for some time.
Yeah, pretty good kill potential really with these two if two of them stepped up too far.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk a bit more about these carries. Something like a Juggernaut. We don't see it a lot. Why is that? And what do you think it was about this draft that should have said to Bet Boom and to Nightfall that he wanted to bring it back for this game?
That's honestly a great question. I'm not too certain. You know, there used to be this kind of way versus AA that people would pick the Jug and stuff like that because you could just reset fights. The AA blast hits, if you don't pop a target, you healing ward, reset, and keep going and stuff like that. But overall, this hero's just completely fallen out of popularity, and I'm wondering what Nightfall is going to be able to make with it because this hero just doesn't naturally farm as fast as a lot of these new carries. But then there's an Ursa on the other side, so a bit of a similar function in that sense. There's no spends, no gyrocopters, no super farmers this time, so let's see how these timings hit with their itemization. And yeah, I'm going to be looking at mid a lot because the Kunkka used to do excellent versus these Invokers, but yeah, these are different times.
Invoker nowadays is a bit of a different beast. A lot of those matchups, as you say, that in the past, Kunkka, you know, or Invoker would not have fared as well in. It's not the case right now with how strong
Oh,
Impact
saves.
is.
Could be in trouble. Fly hit Tulip first.
I mean, Cold Feet's gonna proc. Couple more right clicks from Fly. He's got it. First blood for Fly here up on the top lane. Arteezy's getting the swipe stacks up on Pure.
He could be in trouble also.
He could continue to run this down. Pure's only got one stick charge to rely on. It's not gonna save him. This is gonna be a second kill for Shopify Rebellion's safe lane.
Huge. I mean, massive. I honestly, Fly. Like, Save just walks up a little too far to make sure he can block the camp, but Fly's ready too. Blood Grenade, Cold Feet. He's got more than enough. Hot start. Lanes. First few waves looking good. Abed keeping that control. 10 and 4. Even though it's 9-4, he's getting that even CS at the moment.
I mean, and the potential for this top lane, safe lane duo from Shopify Rebellion, if they start to get a bit of a lead, can these two continue to kind of snowball this laning matchup?
I'll have to see. I don't know about with the new, with these new Legion commanders and stuff like that, because this hero does seem to fare much better than he used to versus his Ursas and Monkey King and stuff like that. So we'll see. I would say yes for Arteezy, but there are things that can trip him up also. Brambles is frustrating to play versus.
Might be able to go for Toronto Tokyo here. It's pretty low. Saberlife, he comes in with some good body blocks. Crit should be able to hit the combo. The blood grenade out, the healing ward is there, and it's certainly doing a lot of favors there for Toronto Tokyo, so he will manage to walk this one off there, down to the help of Nightfall.
Very value stick lane. Actually, all these lanes kind of are. They had, what, I think 8 stick charges up on Toronto Tokyo. He has 14 on Nightfall, so should be more than fine down here. But looking at Nightfall CS, he is getting slowed down a little bit. Saberlight, constant anchor smashes in his face. They have no kill threat down here onto this Tidehunter. Not for some time.
Top lane flight.
Low.
Be all right, and he's prepared. Salve at the ready. Just looking at the CS across the board.
It's pretty close.
It is pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, mid lane, very, very close. 2 carries in a very similar sort of position. Obviously, Arteezy with a bit of an edge down to the fact that he was involved in 2 of those kills. And then looking at the 2 off.
GPK.
A bit of a lead for Tide indeed. Mid, Abed's got the setup for the X mark.
Ooh, the mini stun.
Yeah,
Didn't let it pull in time.
Did mess up the combo there.
He could have died, honestly, if it didn't catch him fully.
Oh, if that caught GPK, indeed, that cold snap saved his life.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how much this. I think it's going to be a very aggressive lane because it's the bottle versus no bottle is bottom.
See if Nightfall can get crit in return. He's got a few stacks of poison onto him as well. So should be okay. Also has the Lotus.
He pops it just in case. Nightfall does zone him away from the bounty.
Shopify getting the kills here in this laning stage.
Yep.
Oh, mid Torrent.
Ooh. Abed is really bringing it to him right now.
He certainly is now, putting GPK on sort of death's door time and time again. GPK's got to be very, very careful.
He's ghost walking, so he's going to heal a pretty decent amount with this, but that just means free CS for Abed while he's sitting there lingering inside that ghost walk. Doesn't want to get hit either. He gets hit by Tidebringer, it's going to cancel that regen.
With some good body blocks onto Saberlight, but not quite enough. I mean, they have the disruption, and Willows get a few more stacks. Poison up. That'll do it. They take him down underneath the tower. Nightfall perfectly fine. Healing ward out. Going to keep himself in a good spot as Boom get that first kill on the board.
Stepped a little too far. Level 3 was hit on Toronto Tokyo. That extra bit of damage was more than enough. Yeah, this time around, it's early boots picked up. He's playing versus the Jug, so it makes sense as his Tidehunter. Then he's going to go for that Meteor Hammer. A lot of times you see that naked Meteor Hammer, but
yeah, if you can get away with rushing, it feels good.
Yeah.
Let's just say that little bit of a movement speed difference could save his life in the lane.
It's easy, taking a bit of a beating. Yeah, Shadow Demon can just sometimes be, we talk about how it sometimes just catches off guard. You can't dispel these poisons, so even though this Kraken doesn't help. Nightfall. Nice catch by Crit.
They got enough? Yes, they do. Shopify sees an opportunity there to punish Nightfall whilst he's been left alone with Toronto Tokyo, making moves elsewhere on the map.
Crit doing the nice little tricky way of doing that acorn bushwhack. Beautifully connected. No way to cut it in time.
Yeah, of course, leaving the lane there, Toronto Tokyo to try and help secure the power rune, and we'll manage to do so. Scares away Shopify's presence in the mid lane. GPK is able to pick up the shield rune. Back up top, Pure. He's getting chased down here by Arteezy and Fly. Save. Let me get the Bramble down to hold back Arteezy. Arteezy's still attempting to push forward. He can actually just turn his attention over towards Save potentially instead. It's the Shadow round, but as soon as he comes out, Arteezy's going to be ready to start
into a Bramble.
Away. He's going to look for the kill. He's going to get the one of them, and he's going to be able to kite out Pure as well. Arteezy on the retreat. Pure trying to run him down. Couple more hits would do it, but again, the slows there from Fly. Arteezy able to stand his ground, get the kill, and get out.
Very important stuff there. Close to him if he gets the attack. I think he actually did get the attack proc from Fly hitting, but he was too far to actually get that secondary hit, so Arteezy gets away. with that kill.
Looking for those 7-minute wisdom runes, but
Yeah.
Toronto Tokyo has been found out. They know he's here.
He was taking an interesting route to try to get that one.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit awkward getting past that tier 2 tower, and indeed he won't be able to. He'll have to back off.
A hot start again, though, for Shopify. We've seen them do this entire group stage. Now into the playoffs, still looking good in this laning phase.
Yeah.
High levels on these supports. Level 5 on Fly, having a very good start up top.
We'll see if they can keep it up. Something that we have seen from Shopify, sort of outside group stages in other tournaments, right? The start of their games, their laning phase, it pretty much consistently goes well.
Yeah. Pure.
He's going to try for the kill, and we'll get it. Can Arteezy find the return play? Doesn't look so. Pure a little too speedy. He's able to get in and get down.
Pushing the limits up there. Pure, look, 1 or 2 attacks just from dying.
Mid going to come in with the +1 mid. Not going to quite be able to land the combo, though. GPK easily able to step out of the range of the boat, and he'll have time to turn around and drop our bed a tip.
That was a little awkward. I bet we'll get his bottle filled up, though.
They're going to go for GPK.
They're going again.
Yeah, they want GPK dead.
Round 2.
Backup's coming in. Down there with this time. And indeed, of course, it's going to be thrown the way back at GPK. That's not an opportunity he missed to drop a tip straight back.
This is a very, very nice plays coming out from Shopify so far. Very good aggression coming up, putting pressure everywhere. Still looking at last hits, though. Boom. They're the ones farming really nicely across the lanes here.
Super even. And if anything, the only one missing out a little bit is Arteezy. He's falling a little bit behind on the CS, despite that early couple of kills that he was able to pick up.
If he gets like one of those other kills, then he'd be just pretty much neck and neck with this Jug. Nightfall. That's just slightly ahead here. GPK.
Rip. Set up upon by GPK with the combo. Tara will hold that GPK. Both supports still here for Shopify Rebellion. They'll do an attempt to try and turn onto GPK, but not quite able to get the setup with the bushwhack. So GPK, he'll survive this attempt.
Yeah, GPK update as we saw. Treads first, just Bracer getting some early stats finished up before he goes for the Urn. Lots of different approaches we've seen from these invokers.
Arteezy trying to find that level 6 up on this top lane. He didn't quite get it. Pure, indeed, hitting the 6 first. The duel's there. The damage is it. Pure, able to take him down.
Just in time, that final hit gets him the damage.
Yeah, I think Arteezy was literally one creep away from being able to potentially get that in rage, and maybe then the turnaround potential would have been there. But Boom seizing that opportunity, punishing that little bit of a window where Arteezy's not able to save himself.
Those small things, they matter so much. Arteezy now, you said he was already a bit behind, and now it's a big margin that he's going to be behind this Jug. So timings, as we said, these two heroes, they don't flash farm so well on their own, but it's about that itemization they get. Nightfall's going to have quite a bit of an earlier battle here.
For sure, yeah. The overall game state is close, but out of all the cores, indeed, Arteezy definitely struggling the most. They're going to go on him again.
He's still 5.
It's a dangerous spot on the map to be, and he'll get the 6 now off this creep dying under the tower.
Okay.
So a bit tougher of a target for Boom to dive in upon, and highly likely that he can survive long enough for backup to come in for himself.
How many TP cancels? That was 1 TP cancel, I think.
Okay. He's going to go for the Omni Stash, and he's going to not get it.
Jump right through.
He's through the portal. Toronto Tokyo was waiting for him, but Fly 6, he turns the Ice Blast on towards Toronto Tokyo. Toronto Tokyo will get a few more stacks, but the poison is enough to still kill Fly off. If Arteezy can take anything in return, turns towards save, but the Shadow Realm's up. Crit coming in through the portal, he's here to back Arteezy up. Might be able to go for save now with the Shadow Realm unavailable. Crit, he's got the setup he has. Bushwhack connects, Arteezy's in with the enrage. A couple of swipes, and save will fall. Arteezy able to strike back and find a trade.
Action-packed. Constant moves being happening around, but now Saberlight.
It's going to be another duel. Wow. I mean, 10 minutes in, a couple of duel wins. This is pretty good going here for the Legion.
Absolutely. I mean, Pure is pretty much going to have the Blade Mail done already. That is super early. And it's a lane that they picked to try to shut him down completely, right? With the Ursa. Not the case here against Pure.
Yeah, a lot of good action, a lot of good movements up and down.
I mean, look at mid.
Both teams switching things around.
It's just constant. These rotations happening from everybody.
Yeah, really trying to go for GPK, but as you say, with his early stats, he's not super easy to catch, even if they get him in the combo. Ahmed, he's got on for an attempt on save. X-Mark into the boat. And lovely shot there from Crit, pretty much across the map, coming up from up in the river. He'll manage to finish that one off.
Crit having a hell of a game for sure. 3-0-2. All of his rotations almost seeming to work perfectly. Playing around Abed here. But Nightfall, as we said, he's the one to be looking at.
He's getting a lot of space.
Getting way too much space so far compared to Artur.
A lot more space indeed compared to Arteezy.
Yep.
So that sort of farm timing on his Battle Fury, it's going to be much quicker.
On the flip side, the one nice thing that they do have, besides like the other stuff, just because Arteezy's struggling, is Saberlight. He actually naturally pushes builds.
Now check this out again. Setups there, and Crit ready on target with an easy shot.
Beautiful.
See it again, bam.
Love it. Gotta be watching for those snipes this game.
They certainly have. They've got fantastic setup. Shopify Rebellion off the back of the combo from Arbed.
And yeah, so Saberlight, this Meteor Hammer, it feels like it's going to do quite a bit of work because he can even maybe waltz toward the mid lane pretty soon and start applying pressure onto this tower as well, too. They have some pretty strong team fight on Shopify early.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure we saw them be able to take Saberlight out just now in the bottom lane, but overall, as the game continues, does it get a lot more difficult for them to kill this tide? Like, how unkillable is Saberlight going to feel on the front line?
I don't think he's going to be that unkillable.
No,
Omni Slash and Duel, they're pretty strong. Even Bedlam is pretty powerful versus a Tidehunter, so it does have to give some respect to these abilities. But overall, he's the best tower pusher in this game in the early game. He's the one who can actually set up and get these objectives early.
They're on the hunt here for Nightfall. It's a tricky catch. If they can get the
miss.
Blade Fury off, they won't be killing him. Nice blast.
Nice try.
He's going to pass over him, but now he's going to know they're hunting. And Nightfall will not stick around this tier 2 any longer than he needs to.
I feel like, I don't know, I didn't get to see every single one of the games there in the group stages, but the activeness so far that I'm seeing from Shopify it's really, really nice. Like, even bottom, attempting to go for this kill rather than just like sitting back stacking or anything. They're constantly getting aggressive, and they're stacking. So Fly, in the meantime, he does get, I think, a quad ancient stack, something like that set up for our team.
They want to try and hold this tier 1 as well, Saberlight.
Okay.
Moving up to the top.
Dire's top tower is under
They have very strong team fight rallied around Saberlight if they do want to take it around.
And BetBoom's not going to risk their chances here, I don't think. They not only saw Saberlight obviously coming in with the Meteor Hammer, they hit a scan deep behind the tier 1, so they knew that it was a +1 with Saberlight. They'll smoke up and look to go elsewhere. They know that they forced a response for the Shopify Rebellion top, so potentially other areas of the map are a little less safe for Shopify to step into, and maybe BetBoom can find the catch.
Nightfall has the Battle Fury done. So super early timing, and he's got stacks to boot. Sunstrike, off the mark.
Guess it's my shout.
How's Arteezy's Battle Fury looking? And he's still a full component away, so.
Oh, hell yeah. Is this the Ursa build nowadays? Battle Fury Midas?
We did see a couple, it was Yuragi who was doing the casual gloves of haste a couple times that we saw. It was pretty cool, but we'll see if he does go for the minus. Mid. It's a grab for GPK.
And you know what I'm hoping for as well? I'm hoping for that secret Ursa build that Yatora led on to the other day.
Which one is this one?
I think I know what he's on
about. Is it the Wind Waker one or whatever?
I don't know how secret it is. I mean, I think BSJ was talking about it. But yeah, the Wind Waker Octarine.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Which, if he's going Battle Fury and Midas, that sounds like the kind of farming setup that you go for if you're then going to try and get an Octarine and a Wind Waker.
I mean, we'll see what we get. That's a lot of gold, but I have definitely seen. I mean, it
can be pretty busted.
We saw it from I think it's Low in China. I think he's the one who started doing it because I saw it razzing all over in pubs, and then people are doing combos with like Coddle and everything, so you're just perma enraged. But we'll see if we do get to some type of stage like that. Game neck and neck. But Nightfall does have that margin of advantage over Arteezy at the moment.
Right now. Yeah, Nightfall farming up an absolute treat.
Yeah. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Pure getting closer and closer toward his Blink Dagger as well, too. So the pick-off overall, both teams do have some strong pick-off. Especially BetBoom when they've got this Blink Dagger into Pure. The solo kill potential is definitely there for him onto a lot of these heroes. And he did get blessed with the Duelist Gloves. Stack stolen.
Trying to set up on Pure, but not going to get the connection.
Toronto Tokyo's there anyway. Yeah. I think even if they get it, he was very prepared.
They do indeed have one of the better combo breakers in that Shadow Demon.
Yep. A couple different ones, right? They even have press the attack for some saves and stuff like that. So, could be a little difficult for them to set up at times. From a very fast-paced, aggressive game, things have kind of slowed down a little bit here. Both teams.
I mean, they're going to try and speed things back up, I would assume. BetBoom.
I would think so.
The Blink Dagger's just come out from Pure. So he's got Blink Blade Mount. In fact, he's going to use it straight away. He's going to jump over with Saberlight. Ravage comes in.
That's awkward.
They turn with the setup. They've got the poke coming in onto Pure. Pure getting burst incredibly low. Pulled back by the tidal wave. Pure, he's going down for sure. They'll punish that. That was a Blink Dagger reveal gone wrong.
Anti-synergy. Shadow Demon disruption onto the Hoodwink, I think, as he's trying to duel him. So they just completely panic for a second there.
Yeah, and quite the big sort of fight for Saberlight to be able to walk out of. That's his money for his Blink Dagger.
Absolutely.
This tide continues to be insanely fast.
And now mid-tier 1, they will have Glyph. Okay, I was going to say mid-tier 1 might just go down here as well off of that. So nice catch-up method there for Shopify. Arteezy getting space to get that farm, to get caught back up versus Nightfall.
they do anywhere near enough damage. They
Not quite
do
yet.
not. A very ambitious attempt there by BetBoom. Doesn't come anywhere close to succeeding.
They probably need the jug there in order to try to go for those type of plays, but Nightfall, he's still just getting that farm up, so. Bit of a wasted effort there. Again, onto Shopify is, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Arteezy's very happy with the way that this is starting to go. See the itemization from Save. Used to be the automatic itemization for Willow, but now he's playing versus the Kunkka, he's playing versus the Ursa. It's even better now, going for this Yule Scepter. I think we've seen most people deviate away from it in a lot of games, but this one you can clearly see why he'd want it.
That's a lot of damage just straight up from the support combo there, but
Ice Vortex. Hey, Ice Vortex with this hoodwink shot is nothing to laugh at.
yeah, didn't quite have the Ice Blast up, still on cooldown for about 10 seconds. If that's there, that's a kill.
Honestly, these two could definitely set up kills like that onto anybody.
But now, though, they'll still remain rather squishy.
Neutral creep.
Oh, wait, what?
But they got the duel
He
there.
gets the dual damage. Now, who cares about the kill?
Yeah.
Like that infinite scaling on the right click.
And I believe
he's still a winner.
Did he have the, was it, okay, he's still level 1 duel, but he had the duel talent, so he gets the 18 damage.
Radiant's middle tower.
Plus 38 for Pure.
Yep.
Still a very healthy amount of damage to be building up at this early stage of the game.
And there goes the mid tower. So Saberlight able to get that one, and let's see, does Arteezy commit? I don't know. I don't know if I like
It's
it.
the secret Ursa build.
It's been kind of quiet, but I don't know if I like it. Okay.
No, that's just queued up instead. Dream is dead.
Dream's dead.
Standard Ursa stuff here. Nothing too crazy.
It looks like he's just gonna get a little bit even more status resist, I guess, versus the duel and stuff like that. Okay.
BKB incredibly necessary when you're playing against these invokers and shadow demons and willows.
Yeah, eventually.
Nice and wine to BKB for Arteezy on the build.
GPK, kind of quiet. Now he's the one who's actually starting to fall quite far behind because he's not really farming so much. He's rather kind of moving around. So seeing Abed pull massively far ahead after farming stacks. Abed's level 14. He farmed, I think, what? A quad stack Ancient and quad stack Hard Camp as well, too. So Abed, very enabled. GPK, the one who's starting to really fall behind.
Cleaning up huge amounts of the map. I mean, keeping up as much as he is with Nightfall.
Look at those neutrals. 2,000 for the Kunkka.
Welcome back.
Incredibly hard to go on. Not a target that BetBoom can take down too easily. As you said earlier, it does feel like the BetBoom's line up all the control it has with their supports. If they want to have the straight up damage, this Legion, it's got to be paired up with one of the cores.
Absolutely, it does feel like it. And Shopify can get themselves a free rush. They've got this Ursa.
Yep.
Ravage back online. They can look to take these fights. I see a lot of shards being purchased too. Saberlight, he bought his shard. So we've got the dead in the water. I love this one.
See how proactive Shopify want to get with this pickup of the Aegis.
See if they even feel to need to be too proactive. I mean, they're getting so much scaling out of that.
He's keeping up on the game nicely now. He was rather behind, but now he's up there, and in a few more moments, likely to be able to catch up to Nightfall's farm.
And just this differential between GPK and Abed right now is absolutely ridiculous from all these stacks. Abed has BKB, almost 15. So they're actually probably, you know what you're saying, they probably will look to fight and accelerate things now, definitely with this BKB.
Radiant's bottom
smoke.
tower
Yeah, they feel
is
strong.
under attack.
Shopify Rebellion. For ults, get the setup. They'll be able to blow up any of these heroes as long as the Shadow Demon save's not there.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Yeah. He's tempted to come back for that last range creep.
You're leased, my friend.
And that will cost him his life.
What the hell?
Love it.
Blow with the boom.
Love the anchor right away coming into play. Good luck dispelling that. You cannot.
Take the plunge.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that really gets you out of that one is a good old 4-staff, right? It's like the leash is like a pounce leash, right?
You need to kill it.
Radiant's middle tower.
You can't force out of it.
Pretty sure you have to kill it. No, I actually don't remember. All I know is that thing sticks on you no matter what. It's very, very difficult to play versus in most situations. I love when they buy it early.
Lunge. Gold from my chest. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Shopify up to 5K. That slowdown, it's been working beautifully for them.
Step lively now.
And tough for BetBoom overall. Their team fight is a bit lackluster in comparison. Like running into this Kunkka, running into Tide. If you want to actually take a straight up 5v5,
Sure.
it's It's going to take probably quite a bit more time for BetBoom. Theirs is more about looking for these little pickoffs with the duels and stuff like that for a while.
And it feels like a lot is going to rely on Nightfall to carry on a Jug.
It does.
I feel like we just don't see Jug carry games that much this day and age.
No, and he's playing versus Ursa, who can just click and rage if he ever does get Omni-slashed or anything like that. So
it's a difficult matchup.
Yeah.
Let's see what Nightfall can do. Obviously, he has the edge in terms of farm, you know, keeping a good distance still between himself and Arteezy. We'll see if that's going to be enough to allow him to carry this game on the Juggernaut. Going to go for a bit of a bait. And Nightfall pushing the mid, and then smoke up. Try and catch Shopify Rebellion in this potential attempt to on Pure.
I think I'm trying to catch him split up a little bit here. Pure.
Dire's middle tower is under
Try for the combo setup, but
quite off the mark.
not quite falling into place there.
And now they want to go for the big target, but Abed's got BKB. They'll settle for fly.
Yeah, they get an easy punish. And an easy bit of dual damage. Pure's able to jump in, clean that up.
Oh, got him.
Time, crit. He's turning with the ult, and Arteezy's there to help out to bring Toronto Tokyo down. Tornado's tempted to hold back Abed. He's already got the X-Mark out onto GPK. Ravage as well to follow up. They lock down the Invoker. Put back there from Crit. No chance for an escape for GPK. But he's going to put the BKB as he wants to move on for more. Chase down, save. X-Mark's back up. They'll be able to drag back the Willow. Shadow Realm is in place. He turns around, gets the 3-man fear off save. But he was not caught. Able to jump back in with the blink and Shopify. They may lose one, but they take down 3.
Well worth it, and I mean, immediate rotation. So quick that the way they move. Saberlight just appears almost out of nowhere. But it just was 2 heroes at the start there for Shopify.
Yeah.
Quick moves.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely feeling like Shopify there. They're absolutely playing on the same page. Something that we've not always seen from this team, especially kind of after the laning stage.
No,
it's transitioning very well into the mid game. 23 minutes in. Yeah, making moves as a team, and Arteezy, he's getting the space, he's getting up there in the farm. Once he's got his BKB, I don't know how BetBoom kill him unless they get that set up with the duel.
I'm not sure either, because even if they do, there's going to be like the rum that comes out. They have a lot of layers that they're going to have to go through to try to address.
It's hard to get those kills from behind BetBoom.
Yeah. Damage is starting to be a bit lackluster unless the Jug is there.
Yeah.
Which, yep, Nightfall, I mean, he is going to have the butterfly, so that is going to be a bit of a timing. And Aegis expiring in about 30 seconds, so maybe that'll be the call for BetBoom to go. But GPK probably feeling like, man, I just showed up to like my first fight after getting my Midas and I just get killed instantly, so maybe he's feeling like he doesn't actually want to do that. Could be a little awkward here for BetBoom.
There we go. We are going to get a bit of the components.
A bit of
Octarine is queued up next.
Okay.
The cooldown's down. And for Arteezy, so building towards that almost permanent enrage.
Yep, and you take all the right talents from nowadays on this Earth, so when you do this type of build, because you're Earth shocking constantly and you're spreading Fury swipes onto everybody, so we're definitely in for a treat to get to watch this one. I don't think I've gotten to see it in a pro game yet.
I've not got to see it in a pro game.
I've seen it a ton in the pubs, but yeah, not quite yet in a pro game. So Pure BKB's finished, so starting to get that itemization to counteract some of those big team fight ultimates. But GPK still quite a ways away from his. Can they get a pick off? Right.
Are they killing a duel?
Close.
Try. They do. They do. They have enough. As you say, get the Jug involved. Now that they can push for those sort of plays, gonna feel a bit better about their pick-off potential. BetBoom.
That's a big one. Big one to open up the map. It was Pure who got the last hit.
Toronto Tokyo's also got his blink. So much easier for Toronto Tokyo to be able to break the combos that Shopify Rebellion try and lay down on one of BetBoom's cores.
That's really important. Combos and also just him being able to control something like the Ursa throughout a lot of these fights, because then he can just pick and choose the demonics. Bet crit. GPK.
Get a bit of a setup, Pure. Try and get him out of this one. In fact, Pure's also ready to just run in aggressively with the Blade Mail, look for a chance to get the catch. But Duel's still on cooldown, so there won't be any damage to pick up from this one. Just the kill.
Big kills. GPK gets it, and that is soon to be the BKB, and they find a DD up top.
Well, that could be nice for Pure if he wants to grab that and go for a duel. Have they got a bolt to give him?
They're saving it for somebody here. Maybe Pure wants it.
Yeah, I just wanted that bolt to score it up, but they don't, so he's just going to grab it. Duel's up. Could be an easy kill if Pure finds a grab.
If they can find Saberlight out of position here, that could be huge for BetBoom.
They have any walls to drop down on the high ground, so not any observers at the moment on the front line, so not able to play for some crazy dive. They're checking some of the camps up top with the scan. Not to find anyone though. Shopify Rebellion for now, couple around the base. The rest of the 2 of them playing the bottom half of the map. Arteezy able to push the way all the way out, and I believe that is next item done.
Did he finish it? He went BKB.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he didn't get the Octarine.
He keeps teasing. He's like, guys, I want to really try this out.
He's playing versus he is playing versus the Invoker and versus Brambles, which
sure, BKB
makes sense.
If you don't get it and you lose the game, you're gonna feel bad.
Yeah.
BKB in slot now for Arteezy.
But it could have been glorious. Abed, Aghanims, it's finished up. Pretty fast timing, as we said. You know, he's been giving quite a bit of priority of farming on those stacks. Yep. We saw those neutrals that he was able to get. But, you know, that 5K lead for Shopify, it's gone.
Yep, they absolutely are. I mean, Nightfall just continues to farm at a pace unmatched this game. Nobody's keeping up with him.
335 last hits right now, the 27-minute mark. Has to be one of the higher ones. That isn't an illusion hero. And now, looks like he can probably just go for the Tormentor himself, too.
Yeah, easily.
Maybe we'll see Arteezy do the same thing on the other side soon, too, because he can also do this type of play.
Shard for Toronto Tokyo.
A good one. Not the biggest things that he can actually demonic cleanse off, in particular this game. Either way, it's always a strong one for the heal.
Now fight time for Shopify. Arteezy with the BKB. He wants to get involved.
Yeah, they want to force a fight. They want to use their big team fight abilities, especially with Abed having this Aghanims right now. But the timing, it's a big timing on the Jug also hit now. Level 20. This Blade Dance lifesteal.
Shadow Blade done, so can get in and out of the fights well.
And that is the BKB's done, right? So they have BKB on Legion, BKB Invoker, so they have ways to play versus those big team fight abilities that Shopify has at the ready. Clash.
Really want to go for this Bet Boom. They want this fight, but so does Shopify.
Let's see. Ward's being placed down. Tense moments.
Who goes in first? It seems a case of both teams waiting for the others to walk into them.
Both just trying to constantly give information. A secondary smoke, Shopify, they're going for a wraparound.
This could go nicely.
Yeah.
Nightfall, he's going to have eyes on Fly. D-Ward. They're going for the long wraparound here with this second smoke, Shopify.
Ooh.
They get the spell now. They know there's someone in the trees. There's going to be the jump. The Ravage is this. Only going to catch Nightfall on the edge.
That's awkward.
Saberlight went for the chance of catching someone in the tree line, and unfortunately for him, the one in there was Toronto Tokyo with his own blink. So Toronto Tokyo able to jump away, and now no Ravage on the table.
And Fly's been spotted.
He has been. He gets the force out to the side. They'll slow him down with the ultimate. Nightfall's in, ready to finish him off. They'll get the quick kill onto Fly, and now Shopify, they're outnumbered, and they don't have Ravage. Arteezy, he's TPing out. He's going to be able to get out of here in time. Saberlight, he won. Abed, he'll BKB and TP out. Saberlight gets left behind for that. Bet Boom will be rewarded with a second kill for Nightfall and extra damage for Pure.
Oof, Saberlight takes a risk going for that, it's not a small risk. That's a pretty big risk that he goes for, with Roche being up and everything too. They're going to make their way bottom. It's shifting, and they're going to kill that. There's no Ravage available for Shopify to even fight. They're going to have to cause something. They're going to have to do some weird stuff here to try to contest it. And Nightfall's already here.
He is. Arteezy's got to run. Toronto Tokyo.
Whoop! He didn't get the disruption.
Arteezy's just a little too speedy. He's got any further way to close the gap. I mean, Chris kind of caught here. The Revy tries to push himself up to the high ground with the sharpshooter, but will be unsuccessful in doing so. As Bet Boom, they'll clean up another, and now will take the net worth lead. Oh, so indeed, they caught a whiff of Toronto Tokyo. I mean, maybe. Obviously, the blink dagger on Toronto Tokyo was only picked up moments before. Maybe they didn't check the inventory. They didn't expect that to be there. And then if you're getting in and you're catching the Shadow Demon, maybe that is enough to sort of snowball the team fight. But unfortunately for them, whether they checked it or not, he had a blink, and easiest blink of his life, they're Toronto Tokyo.
And they get a massive advantage out of it. Multiple dual kills, they get themselves a Roche. It's not the first one either, so Cheese, a secondary form of save.
A very nice turn of the fight there from Bet Boom.
Very nice ways of playing around the map too, where it's like you can feel Shopify. They had that strong window with their big team fight and stuff like that. Bet Boom just kind of split up, finished BKBs, and now they're getting these pickoffs all over the place. Pure, I believe that's his nullifier, actually already finished up now too. So gonna be incredibly strong versus this Ursa.
Yeah, and even though the game did slow down for a period earlier on, it's still 122 damage on the Legion.
True.
A very formidable amount for Pure.
Is under attack.
Shopify Rebellion's next bit of players now that Aegis has been picked up by Nightfall. The next few minutes could be difficult. They're certainly in line to be losing some of the base here. Tier 2s have gone.
And look at this, Nightfall, he's like, okay, got myself a Tormentor ready. Right at the ready.
Can't quite draw on his own. Well, I guess he waits for a few ticks of the heel. Gotta be a bit careful as he finishes it.
Oh, he needs a buddy.
I'll just straight up don't know.
He needs a buddy.
It's kicking back a bit too much damage from now.
And he's like, yeah, never mind. Someone else come here.
Bring down
Now
you guys
they
want-
don't have the healing ward. I guess, yeah, Furious around, but they'll be fine.
That's when you tell your team, I'm doing this for you guys. Do you want the shard? Get over it.
is about to flounder.
If they, I mean, if you bet boom now, do you want to try and push high ground? What's sort of the next play here with the Aegis? What do you want to get done?
I think they can just push these lanes out, keep looking for these pickoffs and for these fights. I mean, they're probably feeling they're in such a comfortable position now versus this tide. They're probably thinking, you know, we can always avoid these ravages and stuff like that now that we've been given the opportunity for BKBs and, you know, the blink, like you mentioned before, on Toronto Tokyo to reset. It's playing really nicely around their vision. They see Abed bottom, they see a couple heroes, and then they look and pick to choose how they want to play around it.
Shopify coming quite a bit outside of their base.
You can see how confident Nightfall is just pushing forward because he doesn't really have to worry about any of those, you know, BKB piercing disables. He can just spin TP in any function. So he's actually playing super deep. Look at this.
Shopify spreading out as they are feels
Is drowning.
rather risky.
Great.
Sunstrike. Very nice there with the Sunstrike. Giving them the setup, giving them the vision to get in and get more damage secured for Pure.
Uh-oh. They're getting way too much. Shopify's just not... I don't think I've seen them be able to get like a big team fight in almost 10 minutes now. Boom's just toying around and getting these catches. Nightfall, 2 minutes. That could be perhaps a catch that they want to be able to poke high ground a little bit with.
And he's, you know, at this point, just easily more than a full item ahead.
Yeah.
Barteezy, he is in the perfect spot. The spot you need to be to close up games as a jugger.
Dire's middle
Absolutely.
tower is under pressure.
And the Shadow Demon, Toronto Tokyo, he's got his blink like you mentioned before. He had his Philly Stone. Things are starting to rack up. He's 2 components toward an agonism now too. So the Earth this game, he's got to deal with a lot of purges.
Tries to jump. The Hex. Taken off in the Nightfall there, but Blade Fury back off with the healing ward. So that was the Hex reveal from Saberlight.
Hex reveal and MKB reveal. MKB on Arteezy, that is. They look to keep going.
And again, it's just the fact that they have this Legion and Shadow Demon. So many ways to just disrupt how Shopify want to open up onto a hero. Boom. They've got the counter plays.
So many of them. And these BKBs, they're very important for the side of Shopify. They haven't even really gotten a chance to use theirs either, right? 9 seconds still on Arteezy.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
But this BKB, you know, it'll protect him versus the Willow and the Invoker in a way, but this Shadow Demon, this Purge, it's going to be devastating for Arteezy. They need to find Toronto Tokyo in these fights. And that's why you can see how much, you know, Saberlight really wanted to get on him with that Ravage.
Yeah. Yeah, if anyone gets the chance to jump the Shadow Demon, they go for it.
It has to happen. But their jump, it really only is Saberlight at this point.
There's so much rest on the Ravage.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
13 to 13. Slow paced. But Nightfall just continues to have incredible success. He almost has his Axe finished. Saberlight did not quite get a glimpse of him, but they heard him. They know he's down there.
Actually, just all end up backing off to the base here, Shopify. Aghanims, yeah. It's done now for Nightfall. Level 23.
He's massive. Then he probably got one of my favorite neutral items. I didn't mention it from earlier, but probably the best one that you can get on these tier 3s. The Vindicator's Axe for a Jug is just incredible. 20 seconds on the Aegis. Shopify, are they going to look to perhaps time it? I mean, Nightfall's pinging. He's probably like, hey guys, my Aegis is going to be wearing out. And they have this ward that was right in the middle, so they saw everybody.
They know exactly where Shopify is.
They're setting up.
This might be into the hands of BetBoom. BetBoom's starting to get more of them together. They've got 4 heroes down here ready for an altercation.
Claimed.
And this might be a little too far for Shopify to step. They'll smoke up, but it still just feels like so much of a risk. You can see the hesitation from Shopify. They don't want to be the ones that go onto the other side of the map.
No, and top is starting to get poked. No one's showing, so they already saw. BetBoom saw them all down there with that ward that they had earlier. So lots of information given.
Yeah, Shopify's going to know that they're onto this. And they can't afford to walk into BetBoom's hand.
How's items looking? How many Lotuses? I believe, okay, yeah. Crit, he finished his a few moments ago, and I think Fly is getting closer and closer. These Lotuses are definitely going to be really important versus this Omni. Try to protect Arteezy in any type of way.
BetBoom still, waiting out the time of the smoke just in case Shopify were going to proceed with the move, but now they'll know. with the sort of the showing top of Arteezy that the Shopify did bail out on trying to make that play.
That boom is just, they're playing very, very careful, very, very confident. He's playing just right perfectly around that ward, sitting behind Nightfall. He's definitely making a lot of calls. I'm seeing him pinging constantly.
I mean, it's his game to win right now.
Absolutely.
He's the one that takes charge when he's in this sort of position.
What do we have? A greater, how many greater healing lotus? Greater healing lotus on Toronto, Tokyo. But I saw one more, but maybe it was on Shopify. Either way. Ninja Gear, Saberlight, picks up a pretty damn good neutral item here. Maybe will allow him to get those type of sneak plays to get a good Ravage off. Nightfall gets the Spell Prism.
See how much they want to poke the high ground in this window, where of course they don't have Aegis. They know what's going to, we'll see when it's back up.
They're going to force him back. It's double Siege Wave. This is dying quick. There's no glyph.
And they've got the Hex done on GPK.
Oh, he got the spin off before the Hex.
Bottom tower couldn't withstand the
Forced everybody back to base. And then they go address their lanes. Nightfall, he's very, very close to hitting 25 after this Wisdom. Good God.
He's making the jug look good.
And GPK gets, I honestly, it's a really good shard. Another one. I feel like most of these tend to be, and he gets Timeless Relic at the same time while he finishes up a Hex. So a lot of item timings coming up for BetBoom. And for Shopify, they're getting smaller items, but these fights definitely feel complicated if they can't find those backlines.
I mean, they're trying again with these smokes. They know that if they go for a move, they've got to do it before BetBoom get another round of Roshan and Aegis.
And another round of items. Tokyo, he's about to have his Aghanims. Full Ag soon to be done on Shadow Demon. I think an AC coming up very soon for Pure 2 as well. Abed hits another timing. Also, the 20 talent's been received while he has Shivas. So, I mean, he's still, if they fight around him, there's chaos. It hasn't happened in a long time.
Radiant's bottom tower faces a stiff wind.
Double Ninja Gears.
I mean, they're moving around as 5 Shopify, but they're just not finding anything.
No.
Radiant's
maybe Pure
is under attack.
They get the catch.
He's too quick with the blink. He's already out away for the creep wave.
I don't mean it literally.
It's not going to get caught out by that sort of attempt. Shopify continue to struggle to find a move to make, really, as it feels for the last 5 minutes or so.
And Roche hits up. Refresher shard. It's dead way too fast.
Who's getting the refresher shard? Give it to GPK for some cool combos or just a Nightfall?
Probably GPK. I don't know if Nightfall has face, does he? Ooh.
I'll give it a Pure, okay? Couple rounds of the old duels. BKBs.
He could just effectively take out 2 heroes almost instantly, right? He duels one, kills one, jumps to the next one, duels. Yeah. Double BKBs. He's got control. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and he's pretty much got the slots to play with as well, because the AC's just under 200 gold away, so he should manage to get that wrapped up before the next fight.
Yeah, he's still going to have to do some swap type of inventory stuff. And maybe he does pass it off. Who knows? We'll have to see inside these fights, so. And that is the, okay, so Ags, Toronto, Tokyo. Like this Shadow Demon, if he gets to cast his spells in these fights. Yeah, he'll just anti-carry Arteezy completely. Eyes on Shopify. Can they get the wraparounds? Can they get these jumps in the back?
And they'll open up with the ult here. And straight away, the pushback is there to catch Toronto Tokyo. Trying to follow up. He's able to get the disruption off though. And Shopify, they've got to back away. They cannot attempt to throw any more spells down. Also, there's Saberlight. Will go for the TP out of Pure. He'll find him. The duel's there. They hold back the tide.
Nightfall comes in for the secure.
And it's safe. Starting to toy around with Abed as well. Abed does have BKB available, but the fear's there.
He's in trouble.
To follow it up, Pure jumps forward, and there's no chance for a BKB. Abed also to fall. Shopify, they're 2 cores down and 2 cores without buyback.
Nice Sunstrikes early from GPK. These little vision Sunstrikes. A couple times now it's gotten the vision for those duels.
Excellent start there.
Yep.
Catching Saberlight as such, and Abed, I guess, just sort of holding on to the BKB too long, and to a point where he just didn't have the opportunity to get it off anymore.
Yeah, I think Curse Crown stunned into the fear immediately right afterwards, and at that point, he's too low. I didn't think he didn't want to use it. I bet, boom. Jesus, it really feels like it's been almost 20 minutes of them now just absolutely dominating the map.
Yeah, the first 20 minutes, it looked hopeful for Shopify Rebellion, but the second half has Yeah, it's been all Bet Boom. Nightfall diving in there deep, trying to take down Fly. It's just the Swift Slash still has the main Omni to play with. But at the least holding him back and getting all the space in the world for him and GPK to push down a full set of racks bottom. We'll see if they want to stick around for more. It's still 20 seconds, no Arbet.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Shopify, what do they do? 16k behind now. At level 25, near level 26, Juggernaut.
And look at the spacing. Like, look at who are you going to ravage? Look where Pure is, look where Tokyo is. They're playing 1,000 range away.
How do you start this fight? They're going to try. But instantly, Nightfall. He's back and he's safe.
Yeah, see, I mean, Arteezy, Shadow Demon's missing. I really think like they have to find some type of smoke wraparound. You got to get on this SD.
Radiant's top tower is on the rocks.
And back in they go.
Lots of problems now at this point. Not just the Shadow Demon, of course,
What are
but
they going to do?
they're going to watch their buildings die.
And they're more than ready to go again, Bet Boom.
Radiant's top
Still a couple of minutes on the Aegis. Everything to play with.
10 seconds on Healing Ward. They keep going.
And they've got to make a move soon, Shopify.
Saberlight's going for the wraparound with crit. Let's see who they find.
Can they find the Shadow Demon? Can they find Toronto Tokyo? There's the jump, there's the Ravage. It's onto the three of them. They're trying their best to burst through the Shadow Demon. They're going to hex forward, but Toronto Tokyo's going to get saved. Cheese is there. He's back up to full HP. Pure gets back in aggressively, dueling Saberlight. They've taken out the Tide. He's down for a minute. Arteezy was able to take down Nightfall at once, but Nightfall's going to be back after the Aegis. There's 2 dead on Shopify. Bet Boom, everyone's still good to go as they're back onto the racks.
Was that the double duels that comes in, I think, too? The Pressure Shard. They can't even kill the Shadow Demon. Instant press the attack into Cheese.
They just can't fight them.
They cannot.
They're far too far behind.
Wow. I Bet Boom. They've looked so hot this tournament and continue to, even though, like you said, those first 20 minutes.
But yeah, a bit of back and forth, but yeah, 20 minutes onwards, it was just all the Bet Boom show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cute little play there from Nightfall, using the axe to jump out of the cold feet.
Arbet's back in action, but Saberlight's still down for 30, and even if he was back, the Ravage, of course, already been used up. Easy caught outside of the base. In the loads of spawn him, he's able to put the array. Jumped up by the Bramble, and he's caught down on the low ground. GPK just toying with him as he drops the meatball down. Pure and Nightfall wrap around. They do get the hex up on towards Nightfall. The duel's back up. Pure sets up. Triple kill, ultra kill for Nightfall. As this game, it is over. Bet Boom.
No mercy. Truly no mercy in this one. I mean, those first 20 minutes, it looked good. And then
we were going to have a close game, and then Bet Boom said no.
Nope. They perfectly dodging fights, getting their BKB, and then, I mean, how many pickoffs after pickoffs after pick?